Sony's PlayStation brand is being sued for £5 billion sterling in a massive class action lawsuit that seems like it has a little bit of legs. This is reported by Sky News, and this story is a doozy. Let's dive in right now. So talking about this story, the first thing that we want to note is that you should subscribe and hit that bell to know when content goes live. I'm trying to make it a little bit more fun when I do the promos, sorry. But in all seriousness, let's dive right in because there's a lot to go over. Basically, Sony PlayStation is being sued for $5 billion amid claims it ripped off 9 million consumers. This is being reported by Sky News, and originally I was going to take notes and just give you the bullet points, but there's so much in here that's really important context, and I want to reference an older case also a little bit later that was actually dismissed in the United States by a different legal team. But Sony PlayStation is being sued for £5 billion. £5 billion in United States dollars is, I don't even know how to read this number. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of money. Consumers have been overcharged for their digital gaming purchases by as much as $5 billion over the last 6 years, the legal action states, with estimated damages per individual estimated between £67 sterling and £562 sterling. And that amount would be about 82 US dollars, if you like, about the price of a game, basically, in the United States, all the way up to $661.12. So continuing on here, basically, they feel like people were ripped off, and the legal claim is from consumer rights champion Alex Neil. He states that they are abusing its market power to impose unfair terms and conditions on game developers and publishers, forcing up prices for consumers. And the concern being that it seems like they utilize their market lead at the time to sort of increase the price of their games and take a little bit bigger cut. I think this is largely from the PS4 era, and I don't know. It's really interesting, but it feels like this case might not be dismissed because of the way it's phrased versus the old case that was dismissed. Let's continue on. It allegedly ripped people off by charging a 30% commission on every digital game and in-game purchase made through the PlayStation Store. Consumers have been overcharged for their digital gaming purchases by as much as $5 billion over the last 6 years, the legal action states. According to the claim filed with the Competition Appeal Tribunal on Friday, anyone in the UK who has purchased digital games or add-on content on their console via the PlayStation Store since the 19th of August 2016 is included in the claim and is potentially entitled to compensation. So what'll happen is, if this case goes through and your email is associated with your PSN account, likely what you're going to do is you're going to get an email. It's going to send you to a site that looks like a scam site where you put in your info, and then you're just going to get paid money. I don't know what happens when people don't claim that money, but what Alex Neil is doing is it's a class action lawsuit. So I believe it's being filed on behalf of, I assume, some clients who are making this claim. And the goal is obviously for the legal team to make a lot of money, but also to get some money back for people who feel like they paid too much for their gaming because of Sony's large cut. The estimated damages per individual, we've already talked about. The game is up for Sony PlayStation, said, it's Miss Neil. With this legal action, I am standing up for the millions of UK people who have been unwittingly overcharged. We believe Sony has abused its position and ripped off its customers. Gaming is now the biggest entertainment industry in the UK, ahead of TV, video, and music, and many vulnerable people rely on gaming for community and connection. The actions of Sony is costing millions of people who can't afford it, particularly when we're in the midst of a cost of living crisis, and the consumer purse is being squeezed like never before. Alex Neil is advised by law firm Milberg London LLP. This is a really big case for Sony, and if it goes through, £5 billion, it's no small amount for them to have to pay. And if that 30% markup is true, I have to wonder, is there going to be a case for Microsoft? Did Microsoft also do a markup for their digital distribution? This isn't just first-party games either. This is third-party games. So we don't have a lot of insight into how the Microsoft side of things works. Right now, this is just directed at Sony PlayStation. I have to wonder if more suits are coming in the future. The partner leading the case, Natasha Perman, said, Sony dominates the digital distribution of PlayStation games and in-game content. It has deployed an anti-competitive strategy, which has resulted in excessive prices to customers that are out of all proportion to the cost of Sony providing its services. And if you think about it, this is the PS4 era. So this is when Sony was getting a little bit, I don't know what the right word is. They were just trying to get every single cent that they possibly could. They were charging for crossplay. They were activating all these practices. And it seems like this case comes from sort of that era when that was happening. Fast forward to today, and well, I don't know. I'll let you make your own opinion about how they're doing today. But I know a lot of people don't like that $10 extra. So what is the actual markup there? I do want to point out that a similar case was tried in the United States, and it was actually dismissed over monopoly pricing in the United States. I have to wonder if the UK case is going to give this new legs. Basically, that decision was specifically intended and did eliminate price competition from other digital video game retailers. The lawsuit alleged forcing players to pay a higher price for digital PlayStation games than they would in a free and unrestricted competitive retail market. But what happened was, I believe Sony ended up posting a loss later on. The judge sort of talks about, let's just go down here. Although it seems almost certain that Sony gained some revenue through download codes, and plaintiffs need not at this stage prove that the practice was profitable, plaintiffs must, at a minimum, describe the process through which Sony earned money from the practice. Judge Seaborg wrote, the court cannot assume the practice was profitable when plaintiffs have failed to plead how Sony received money through the practice. So it seemed like this case in the United States was thrown out because they just didn't construct it in a way that had enough evidence. They have 30 days to file an amended complaint. And originally this was filed in 2021. This was updated 7/20/2022. I don't know if they have filed an amended complaint since then. But here's the original case, basically filed 5/5/2021, dismissed, and it was from Westerman Law Corp. And you can see basically they're talking about antitrust and unfair competition class action, seeking damages and injunctive relief. And it does seem like this is a separate law firm from the one that's happening over on Sky News. I wanted to give that context because that case ended up getting dismissed because they didn't provide enough information. Because of the Apple versus Epic case, we actually got a little bit of insight into Sony's business practices. So they could potentially have more evidence for this UK trial about an anti-competitive case. And I've already reached out to Rick Hogue because I want him to read this and give me some more insight into what is going on here and if this case has any legs to stand on. Let's continue on reading the article, though. The partner leading the case, yes. So, and she points out that Sony owns like a larger portion of digital distribution. And we saw in the report recently from the Brazil Activision case where Sony is trying to make a case where they say, hey, Microsoft shouldn't be able to join with Activision. And Microsoft replied basically saying, you own 70% of the digital distribution market. We own like 40 or 50. So it is very true. They have a lot of evidence now against Sony because of all these court cases that Sony has sort of been tied into and called out on basically for how much money they made during the PS4 and PS5 era. I do think we should all remember, though, and I'm sorry I'm so rambly here, but with court cases, you have to remember companies this big, they're getting sued all the time. We saw that in 2021, that case was dismissed. I don't know if this one's going to go through, but let's continue on and finish out the Sky News article. I just want you to think about that as we continue reading here. The claim is only possible because of the opt-out collective action regime that was introduced by the Consumer Rights Act 2015, a regime which Alex fought to introduce. We are looking forward to working with Alex and making sure that the regime archives its aims of protecting and compensating consumers. The action is funded by Woodsford, a specialist team of litigation and arbitration experts investing in large commercial claims, so class members will not have to pay any cost of the action themselves. PlayStation has been contacted for comment by basically everybody about this case. And let's see who this was. This was Westerman, and this one was Woodsford. So yeah, not connected at all. So that's the case that's going on right now. So you could be getting a class action lawsuit email in the future at some point for anywhere from about $78 to $661. That is no small amount, and Sony could get hit with this. And you got to remember, we have evidence of the crossplay charges, how they were charging indie developers. Now we know, I think my son wants my attention. Now we know that there was a 30% markup on a lot of their digital distribution products, and they own 70% of the digital distribution market share. It seems like a strong case to me, but I need to get somebody on the channel who knows more about law to discuss that. So while we wait, let me know what you think about this story in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. I got to go play with my son for a second, 1 second, to know when things go live. Thank you to all the members. Members, you are great. Thank you so much. Hit that join button to know when this video goes live. I got to get out of here. Bye for now, everybody. See you soon.